In today's video, I'm going to share with you, bar none, the easiest cat and mouse game that you guys can play against man-to-man coverage. Not really have to think that hard about it. What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys the easiest litmus test that you guys can use for beating man coverage, in particular the cover 0 and cover 1 blitz metas. These are very, very popular in the community, and they leave a lot of risk because if you know what you're doing, you can get the ball out on the perimeter very easily for a rat catch and potentially a touchdown if you can get to the corner. However, there's a simple adjustment that counters this that gives up a lob one play touchdown to anyone else on the field that is guarded by a safety and man-to-man coverage. So this is something that you guys should be utilizing whether you're in a bunch offense from shotgun or single back. In fact, you guys can take a look. This comes directly out of my single back bunch X Nasty game plan on gridirongameplans.gg. Now, speaking of gridirongameplans.gg, we have just released our comprehensive $3-2 defensive game plan. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a defense everybody runs, Zan. Don't we all know that this is just spinner and DB fire? I promise you, this is much higher level than what you guys face out there. And that's not me saying that what you guys face out there isn't hard to move on. Dollar is meta for a reason, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of meat left on that bone. And you guys can subscribe to gridirongameplans.gg for $9.95 per month. It's going to unlock everything. The X Nasty game plan, which I'm going to show you a tip out of here today, that dollar game plan, every other game plan on the website, and all the vault tips that we have out. We're up near 110 vault tips already released this year. We're constantly releasing multiple vault updates every week, constantly keeping you on top of the trends in competitive Madden. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. We're going to show you guys basically one play. That's all you have to do is kind of freestyle out of one play. Now, I will say that it's probably a little bit better if you have a fast tight end. I'm going to show this to you with Robert Tonyan, who's not the fastest guy in the world, but we're going to show you guys how this works. We've got cover 1 hole in our audible set. I'm going to run a little bit of Overstorm Brave here. Now, with the X Nasty, one of the big tells in the X Nasty is that man coverage, in particular cover 0, lines up way wide of the bunch, unlike other bunch formations. So that's a huge tell in the formation. I'm giving that to you right off the bat for free. However, when you motion across, it slides the corners to the inside. Now, what's really, really nice about this is if we kind of take a look at this from the defensive point of view, what you're going to notice here is that you've got a safety on Tonyan on the left. That's a one-on-one matchup. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do what I call, kind of a cat and mouse or a litmus test. For those of you that don't know what a litmus paper is, it's basically, it tells you whether or not a liquid is an acid or a base. And we're going to litmus test the man coverage to see whether it's shaded down or not shaded down. So what we're going to do here is when we snap this ball, we are reading the drop of the man coverage corner, Jeff Okudah. And if Okudah does anything resembling a bucket step, we are going to freeform this ball straight up into the sideline, basically a 1 o'clock pass lead. For those of you that want to know what my freeform settings are, it is near 20 out of 20. So very, very easy. So I'm going to read his drop. If it's a bucket step, we get the ball out to him instantly and rat catch that. Now, depending on your timing, you guys can actually get some really awesome animation. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of reps here against this. If they do not shade down, you are going to be able to fry this. So again, there's that bucket step. You just rack it out to the sideline. And there I was able to get that angle. And you see that if you have a fast enough receiver, you guys can probably turn this into a touchdown, especially so if you face people that do this right here, where they move these safeties down in the box. This could be really, really dangerous because those guys are the last line of defense when you guys go to do this. And if you get this ball out quick and you can make that guy miss, it's a touchdown. Now, right there, I threw that ball much too fast, but the real thing that you guys want to do with this is definitely key that first drop step, that bucket step by that corner. So what I do in the X Nasty is I kind of motion across, make the guy slide in, and then I'm going to go ahead and read that corner, Okudah. So there's the bucket step, get the ball out, rack it, and if you can make him miss, it could be a lot more than the 7 or 8 that we got right there, but nonetheless, very, very easy. Now, the downside to this is that, as we showed in the intro, you guys can shade down, and this will prevent that bucket step, but it opens up so much more. So what I'm going to do here is do that same motion. So now we're playing against a shaded down man, and you can tell right off the bat, if that first step right off the rip is not a bucket step, don't throw it. But if you guys are in the habit of guessing and you throw right into this, it's going to end up being intercepted for a touchdown. So you don't want to just throw this with reckless abandon. Actually look at what you're seeing right there and make a good decision. So if that guy's first step initially isn't backwards, don't throw the football. Don't throw the football. Now, for those of you that are labbing through this, the really cool part about this is that if they are going to shade down against you, any safety and man coverage on a tight end or a wide receiver is going to be in a spot where they are going to overrun their guy. Now, Robert Tonyan is not the fastest guy in the world here, but I'm going to show you that he can get behind this type of player. So we're going to shade down here. I'm going to block the blitz, and you're going to see that Tonyan will just run right by that guy. Now, if you guys in Mutt have Pitts, if you have Waller, if you have literally anybody that's good, Casper's item is fine. This is going to be a touchdown. If you got some run blocking tight end in the mid 80s, you're going to get what you saw right there in terms of the speed. It's still a good gain of about 50 yards. But it's really, really nice because, again, if they are playing a shade down and you've got anybody that is remotely quick, you guys can go ahead and run right by that. So take, for example, I got Aaron Jones here. If you're playing man shaded down against Aaron Jones on a streak, he is going to run right by him. And you see that that's a huge difference. It's basically a rack touchdown. So, again, if they're shading down, it's a touchdown. If they're not shading, it could potentially be a touchdown, and it's going to be a big gain either way. Now, the other thing that you guys, of course, can do with this is if they are shading down, you can kind of play cat and mouse with this. One thing I will frequently do is I will audible into like this formation, the gun doubles close offset, which will actually allow me to then motion my tight end out wide. And if they're going to play a shade down alignment from this, again, you're going to be in a spot where Tonyan should run right by that guy. And you see that he does. And I can just lob it over their head for a touchdown that way. So there's a lot of tricks to the trade here with this. You guys can basically run this concept, you know, and be in a really, really good place beating man coverage. Now, all of this has been against cover 0. So I do want to do a quick litmus check on cover 1. Cover 1 does line appropriately against the X-Nasty, so that's the difference between cover 0 and cover 1. But again, if they do any type of bucket step, you get this ball out instantly, and you see just how dangerous this can be. This ends up being a quick 30 yards down the sideline. Now, again, this is one of those examples where I personally believe that this concept is much better at under center because you can get the ball out instantly. So compare this in theory to shotgun. You cannot throw the ball this fast in shotgun because at this point when the quarterback is throwing the ball isn't even to the quarterback in a shotgun formation. So quick passing is far superior when you guys are under center. So for this concept, if you guys may be shotgun players and you know you got cover 0 and you have single back bunch in your playbook as well, audible down to verticals, where I think it's called Seattle in some playbooks, out of single back bunch, and just run this concept the exact same way, because that's the difference between getting a 30-yard gain out of under center and getting an 8-yard gain out of the shotgun, because that window that you're trying to get the ball out is not possible to be thrown from shotgun because the quarterback hasn't yet received the football. So I'm going to leave it right there for you guys. Again, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, drop those below. And if you guys want more than what I'm providing you guys right here, whether it's the end of the X-Nasty game plan, the rest of it, or that dollar game plan, or the vault content, keeping you on top of the blitz metas that have been coming out. You guys struggle to stop dollar. You know, I've got a dollar game plan on the website. It's better than Meta Dollar, but if you guys struggle with Meta Dollar, go check it out. It's in the vault. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the video. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab, and good luck.